Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 22. And the Lord Yahweh showed signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. All right, before I get started, as always, I'm going to give all praise unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four winds of the earth that believe wholeheartedly in the true doctrine that is being pushed throughout the four winds of the earth for in hope of mercy and salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, as well as when Yahweh Shai returns to the planet Earth. All right. Okay. This shouldn't be too quick. I only have a couple scriptures, including the one I just read, concerning the Lord's signs and wonders. All right. Now, in this particular, this was a sign of the Lord dealing. I believe the Lord showed us a sign by way of cicadas when I was in Memphis with the brothers, and right after we got done saluting out in unison, the Lord had the cicadas basically salute us in unison. If that makes any sense. If you know anything about cicadas, if there's a large amount of them, they can all make their buzzing sound or what have you at once, and it's a very loud and distinctive noise, which I've never heard this noise before, because we don't get cicadas in California. At least I've never seen them. And literally right after we got done saluting out, and I'm gonna show the video. If you see myself, I'm looking up at the trees because the cicadas, that were in the trees, they started to uh, buzz in unison, very loud. Now we didn't get the whole, uh, the whole buzz that they did because right after it was like it lasted for about 5 seconds, and then it stopped and got back quiet as if we were teaching. All right, but it shows you the Lord is dealing, man. Okay, and that's the spirit I got uh, as soon as they made the noise. All right. And I have a couple examples of the Lord showing signs, all right, on the righteous side, towards his men, in particular King David and his men, as well as Gideon, all right, and as well as the Latin tribes, because I have three scriptures I'm going to read from the when they were coming over to this side of the world, all right. And if you pay attention and you in the spirit, the Lord will always show signs, man. All right. Uh, when you read about the birth of our Lord, the Lord showed the sign to the wise men where to go. All right, they said we have seen his star in the heavens. All right, and to tell you that it rested over where Joseph and Mary were with Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, I didn't even think of that sign, but that's another beautiful. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that one up. Let me see. Let's get that one first because that's a heavy sign. And the men knew, um, they knew that it was a sign of the Lord, that the Messiah was born, the wise men. Let me see if it gives me the precept. It's just his star in the east. because this actual sign was a chariot, all right, that looked like a star. You know, we see those all the time. Let's go back to the first chapter, maybe. Let's go to Google real quick. I'm gonna get it. 2 and 9. Yeah, I was in the right chapter. Let's go. All right. So let's read. This was a sign here. Um, so I'm gonna start at 2, and I'm gonna just jump straight down to 9. Uh, Matthew 2:2. It says, saying, matter of fact, I'll start at 1. Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judah, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. Right? Now, when you jump down to verse 8, I'm going to read 8 and then 9. It says, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child. And when ye have found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also, which we know that was all deceit, but that's a topic for another time. Verse 9, it says, when they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them. All right, because it wasn't an actual star. It was a sign from the heavens, all right, to guide them to where the Messiah was born. All right. It says, till it came and stood over where the young child was. All right. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. All right. And, you know, they knew the Messiah was born through that sign the Lord showed in the heavens by way of a chariot, all right, and it rested over um, where the Messiah was born, all right. So these things are signs. These are different signs the Lord uses. Hey, the Lord may use signs to guide us during these times, all right, but we must be in the spirit in order to see them, all right. We must pay attention, all right. And in this particular case, like I said, right after we got done speaking, teaching the word, so let's get that now. All right, this is the video. Now, if you listen as the brothers are closing out, I'm gonna back it up just 10 seconds because you don't hear the buzzing. But as we salute out, you start to hear the buzz get real loud. And I was kind of wooed by it, like, oh, y'all. And we talked about it a little bit afterwards. I was like, that was the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? That was the Lord showing us a sign. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked it up. That's the cicada singing, and the Lord made them do that literally right after we closed out in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right, because you didn't hear the buzzing the whole time we were teaching. All right, you may have heard birds, maybe one or two cicadas, but when we saluted out, they all buzzed in unison. Okay, now I'm gonna play this so you can hear it for yourself, and I'm gonna get a couple more scriptures.
Down and setting up righteousness on the earth, righteous rule on the earth. That's the only solution.
True justice.
True justice.
You notice how quiet it is. It's quiet, right? You hear just the brother speaking.
All right, so with that, Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters edified. Once again, we face the east. We give our honor and glory and power to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
I want to say double honors to our elders, our great apostle, great millstone, and peace and blessing the hope elect. Next time, Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Barak Hakim, man.
Barak Hakim.
And may the Lord continue to bless y'all day.
Done.
Right when we ended. And I stated right when we ended. They started buzzing. If you can notice, I started looking up in the trees like, what the hell? All right, but I believe that was a sign of the Lord. Of course, being pleased with us teaching His word, doing His work, saying His name. All right, praising His holy name. All right, Him and His Son. All right, like I said, it was quiet, but right after we saluted out, you could hear the buzz.
Baba Ball.
Barak Hakim, man.
Barak Hakim.
And may the Lord continue to bless y'all day.
Done.
See, it got real loud. It started to get real loud, and I began to look up in the trees. I'm hearing the back.
Peace and blessing the hope elect. Next time, Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
Barak Hakim, man.
Barak Hakim.
And may the Lord continue to bless y'all day.
Done.
Yeah, see, I wish we could have got it all, but it was all in the spirit, but literally it buzzed for like 5 seconds, and then they all stopped at the same time. All right. It was like I said, signs of the Lord, man. Okay. And I believe that was a sign that the Lord was pleased with us doing His work. Okay. Now let's get these other scriptures, other examples. First one we're gonna get is 2 Samuel, the 5th chapter. This is dealing with King David. All right, kind of similar, dealing with trees though. All right, let's go there real quick. 2 Samuel 5. Okay, and this is what it reminded me of after it had happened. I was like, yo, that reminded me when the Lord told him, when you shall hear a noise in the mulberry trees, then you go after them. So the noise in the mulberry trees gave David the cue to attack. All right. So that was a sign the Lord had gave David. Okay. So this is 2 Samuel 5 and 23. It says, and when David inquired of the Lord, he said, thou shalt not go up, but fetch a compass behind them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And let it be, when thou hearest the sound of it going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt bestir thyself. And when you look up that word bestir, it means to be sharp, move quick, make a quick decision, and do it now, so to speak. All right? After they heard the sound in the tops of the mulberry trees, which was the sign that told David, when you hear that sign, that's your cue. All right? So that's just another example of the Lord using the elements around us to show us signs. All right, but we must pay attention. We must be in the spirit to see these signs. Okay, the Lord will use numbers. He'll even use animals and people. People may say certain things. Uh, you know, you'll see certain numbers. Sounds will happen after a statement. Okay, the Lord can use many. He can use anything as a sign. All right, to give you an answer in which you need. All right, or to give you a way to go. But we must be in the spirit to see these signs. Okay, so reading that again, it says, "And let it be when thou hearest the sound of a going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt bestir thyself. For then shall the Lord go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines." And David did so. So the Lord had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba until thou come to Gazer. All right. So the point is, David inquired of the Lord. All right, and the Lord showed him a sign when he was going to be able to do what he needed to do upon those Philistines. All right, we were doing the Lord's work, and the Lord showed forth a sign, in my opinion, a sign that represented us, that represented that He was pleased with us doing His work. All right, teaching that word, man. All right. Um, Next scripture I got is Gideon. I believe it's Judges 6. Yes, Judges 6. Okay. And in these times we coming into, all right, when we inquire of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, whether when we out there, Lord will, the Lord is with us until the end. All right, wherever we may be, we can ask the Lord to show forth signs to let us know where to go, how to go, what we should do. All right, because Romans 15:4, the things that are written before are written for our learning. Okay, so this is just another tactic. All right, to get clarity from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and Gideon did this. Let's go to the 35th verse and read this through. Okay. This is Judges 6 and 35. It says, "And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also was gathered after him. And he sent messengers unto Asher and Zebulun, and unto Naphtali. And they came up to meet them. And Gideon said unto the Most High, If thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool in the floor, and if the dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon all the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said. And it was so, for he rose up early on the morrow, and thrust the fleece together, and wringed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water." All right, so the Lord showed him that sign that he asked for, in order for him to know that the Lord was going to deliver the Midianites into his hand. All right, and that he would save Israel. Okay, verse 39, it says, and Gideon said unto the Most High, Let not thine anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And the Most High did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. See that? So the Lord showed him those different signs, all right, to assure him that the Lord was going to deliver the Midianites into his hand and that he would save Israel. All right? So again, dealing with the signs, we must pay attention to those signs so that we can have that clarity and that assurance that the Lord is dealing with us and that comes through prayer, as you see. The word pray means to ask, right? Okay. King David inquired of the Lord, and now we're reading about Gideon inquiring of the Lord. Okay. So we got all the tools we need. All right. If you truly believe in this thing, okay, we have the tools, all right, to get us through um Jacob's trouble. All right. Even if it does mean uh the Lord is going to require our lives. The Lord will show forth signs. Okay. Just as he did our forefathers. And I'm gonna read this one and that'll be it. Second Ezra 13. I start at 43. This is dealing with the Latin tribes coming over to this side of the world, the northern kingdom. All right. It says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them. All right. Meaning he showed them signs to guide them on which way to steer the boats. All right. And I'm sure it was signs in the heavens. It could have been certain signs in the earth. All right. The Lord could have had dolphins. Who knows? But the Lord showed signs. All right. For them to be guided through those waters. Okay. It says, for the Most High then shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. All right. So when these things begin to happen in the earth, all right, there's no communication. There's no it's just maybe your family or whatnot. Who knows where and how the Lord is going to have us in these times. Remember these type of scriptures. Remember our forefathers, all right? Remember the things that were written before us, all right? Let's get that and then we'll close it out. All right, remember the things that were written aforetime, all right, because they were written for our learning, all right, that we through faith and comfort of the scriptures may have hope, all right. This is Romans 15 and 4. Okay. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. All right. So everything that's written, we can apply it now. We can use those things as far as we read King David, he constantly inquired of the Lord. We read about Gideon inquiring and asking the Lord to show a sign so that he can be assured that he would save Israel. All right. We have that same access. All right, because the Lord has revealed his name unto us, and we have that same access through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So Lord will, this was, quick lesson. Lord will was edifying and exhorting to the hopeful elect. You know what I'm saying? And there's many other scriptures dealing with the Lord showing forth signs. But I just wanted to hit this real quick. And Lord will is a faith booster and edifying, exhorting, as well as inspiration to the hopeful elect out there. Hey, call Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and we on to the next video. Shalom.